This started in downtown, basically eastbound 10, Peck Road, Hollenbeck Division, but they've been going back and forth. Right now, we're believing that this Nissan Maxima is headed westbound 10. There's going to be a lot of changing around as far as where things go. But again, they've been on the 10 freebound. They were 10 freeway. They were eastbound, and then now they're westbound. One more time. They're approaching Alameda. We've watched as this, the red car there in the center of the screen has made some very unsafe moves. You see crossing over right there. We've seen them pass on the right in the shoulder. We've seen them just drive through traffic on the freeway at a very high rate of speed. Sometimes we're hearing it's at 100 miles an hour. Apparently this person was at least looked like they had a gun. We do not know for sure if this person is armed, but that was one of the initial reports. You see this car pass right by that bus, maybe even trying to make a move, but then now making this U-turn, and we don't know exactly where this person is headed.
Yes, and we have been watching, and this has been going on for quite some time as this person in the red car hitting very rapid rates of speed, as we have seen, and driving very erratically right now, right behind that white SUV entering the intersection. But as we saw, driving erratically, making a U-turn, very dangerous situation we have here. And we are continuing to look and see where this person is headed.
We're just following from Air 7 HD, and there we finally see, I was just about to say, we haven't seen many police cars in the view. That does not mean they're following them. They're trying to follow them at a safe distance, obviously, but you can see this person is making some very aggressive, certainly dangerous moves in an attempt to elude authorities. I'm trying to see if the front wheels
are down,
are down or not, but it does look like this. No, I guess not. Just low-profile tires, it does appear, but we do have CHP now. This began as an LAPD chase, but it looked like that last vehicle we saw there just moments ago was California Highway Patrol. Now we're getting into a little bit of traffic, and there's a police officer in front, you can see there. Now this person has switched over into the far left lane. Not sure what freeway we're on at this point, but it does. Okay, the 101, and they are in downtown Los Angeles, so hitting a little bit more traffic.
Yes, so from the 10 to the 101 there, and you see him going on the left shoulder, weaving in and out of traffic, narrowly missing these cars, as we can see. Person really trying to get away. It's not clear what this person driving the car is wanted for, but we do know that CHP and other patrol officers are there trying to squeeze through this area, and this is very, very heavily trafficked, as we can see, as downtown Los Angeles normally is at this lunch hour.
Well, it was in Walnut Grove that there were reports that this person was seen with a weapon of some sort. So we don't know if this is a stolen vehicle or how this all began, but we do have reports that while in Walnut Grove, this person apparently had a weapon. So they're certainly driving a weapon, as many people will tell you, especially in law enforcement, that a vehicle driven like this can be considered a deadly weapon. And this person is, as they get onto the 110, it is clear this person has a disregard for the people who are driving and commuting around them, because this is quite dangerous the way this person is driving. And of course, we've lost them right now behind some of these buildings. But they're shifting and moving from freeway to freeway very quickly.
And going at a very high rate of speed, as you can see. So they're going from the 101 to the 110. I imagine that's in a southwardly direction through downtown. They're going north. I'm sorry. They're going north. Okay, so the 110 north. All right. So there you see it. He continues to go, and not too many people on this freeway right now, which is good news there, but had a lot of traffic a little bit earlier.
Well, one of the things that strikes me is the speed with which this person is traveling, because so many times in these chases, it's not really that hard for R7 to keep an eye on where they are as they move very deliberately, maybe at high rates of speed, but generally very deliberately. This person, as they move through the tunnels on the 110, heading north again, should be heading up to the 5, which is a very difficult transition there for people just stuck in traffic. But usually Air 7 can follow these pursuits fairly easily, but this person is moving very quickly from place to place. You see there the 110 North, and certainly a dangerous effort to try to elude authorities at this point.
And many times they say that a suspect will try to go back to close call there, a neighborhood that is familiar to him or to her, and we see that he is going directly where he wants to go and doing so very quickly, very erratically. These cars, we've seen one patrol car in pursuit so far, and they seem to be giving him a lot of room to sort of do what he needs to do.
Well, we're just watching to see how this is going to play out. But again, this is at last check the 110 North. We saw this person pass on the right shoulder, move across several lanes of traffic. He passed on the left. We don't know if this is a man or a woman driving this vehicle or how many people are in this car, but this red Nissan Maxima has been trying to elude authorities for several minutes now. Okay, we're getting word that there is only one person in the car. One person in the car. Of course, that is certainly a rough estimate because authorities will have to make sure they clear the car if and when this ends for them. But at this point, one person in the car, reports of the possibility of a gun for this person. They are in Highland Park, and they are traveling at significantly high rates of speed, again, on the 110 freeway north. And we do know that at some point they will approach the 5 freeway or run into Pasadena there. Oh, they've passed the 5. All right. So then they're gonna end up running out of freeway at some point, and it does appear as if this person is getting off the freeway here, and we'll see where authorities are and how quickly they will try to move to stop this.
Right now on surface streets, making a left-hand turn on surface streets on the correct side of the street so far. We have not gotten a glimpse going right through that intersection without stopping. We haven't gotten a glimpse of the person in the car, believed to be the driver, and only believed to be the driver at this point. He could have clipped that car driving very dangerously. If this continues, actually, we're told that he is on the southbound 110 right now. So he went northbound 110, got off at an exit, turned right around, and is now heading back the opposite direction on the southbound 110.
For anyone who has traveled the 110 near Dodger Stadium, you know that if you're going to stay on a freeway, you have to get on the 5 there once he passed through the tunnels. Clearly, he did not do that. And then you run into basically South Pasadena. And so Via Marisol is the area there where this person got off the freeway, basically made a U-turn, threw a couple of quick left-hand turns, made a couple of unsafe moves again to get around people who are trying to merge on the on-ramp. And again, another element of that's so dangerous for everyone who's traveled that area, that freeway on-ramp there is basically you're coming from zero and you're having to get right up on the freeway, and without caution, a lot of people already on that freeway heading southbound can really be put at risk as you just try to jump onto the freeway and jump in front of them. It's exactly what this person did.
And it can get very narrow in some places. And if you're driving along and say you have your windows up and you're listening to the radio and you don't hear sirens, perhaps it's very dangerous to have somebody coming up on you at such a high rate of speed.
Well, you see again passing on the right here. It's certainly in the far right lane, not on the shoulder. But we've seen this person go on the shoulder, and again, like you're mentioning, Leslie, you're just driving along, and so suddenly you see this person blow up behind you, and there's nowhere to go for him. He's passed again on the shoulder here, and just continues to try to find open roadway in front of him. However, he's able to find that open roadway again. My assumption is he was on the 110 and hit that section where he had to get on the 5 or on the 110, and it was clogged up on the 5, so he just stayed off to the right and then ran out of freeway. And
now it looks like he's on the northbound 5 freeway and still going at a very high rate of speed, weaving in and out of lanes and darting across traffic, near misses with several cars. And we will see how this traffic goes. Highland Park, the 5 freeway north. He is going very quickly. Seems to be a little congested on this road. He's on the left shoulder. and continues to weave in and out. The red Nissan Maxima that you're seeing right in the middle right lower area of your screen. We know that at least one person is in that car. The person has a possibility of having a gun. That's the information that we do have.
And we're just getting new information that apparently this person is wanted for domestic violence, criminal threats. That is how this began, so it appears as if this is not a stolen vehicle. They know who is inside the vehicle. Again, this is a domestic violence, criminal threat pursuit of this person in this Nissan Maxima. And again, now on the 5 northbound, probably heading, if not already, through Glendale. And if you're going up the 5, you're going to run across the media center there at Western and Alameda in that area, and it does get rather crowded even at this time of day before it opens up a little bit further north on the 5. So this person apparently willing to drive on the shoulder or however they can to get through traffic, to get around any kind of congestion in front of them. But right now, as we've seen it, CHP, LAPD, who's been involved in this as well, has been trying to stay back and in hopes, I would assume, that this person will slow down and eventually pull over and make this a safe ending to what to this point has been an unsafe action.
Right, and as you can see, he is approaching traffic at this point, and of course authorities have to deal with this with a high level of caution, because he is doing what he is doing, and also because it was stemming from a domestic violence call. Those are volatile calls, volatile situations, high emotions. Many times officers get hurt in situations like that. So you have someone who is coming from that and is completely desperate. And so, of course, they are treating this with all the caution that they can muster.
Again, this chase has been underway now for probably, we've been following it certainly for 12 minutes, Eyewitness News at 11 a.m. here, but it began before we went on the air. And this person has been on the westbound and the eastbound 10, the north and south 110 freeway, now on the 5 north. Hollenbeck Station began with this, LAPD division. This person has now seemingly settled into the 5 north and is a little bit less reckless for, you know, just from my vantage point watching this, right now just content seemingly to be behind this pickup truck. But in the past, we've seen this person drive on the right shoulder, pass across certainly in the carpool lane. We've seen illegal U-turns. We've seen jumping around people on on-ramps. So this person has, with a high rate of speed, been willing to make any move deemed necessary by him to try to elude authorities. And
we see he's crossing over to the right lanes now, seemingly a little bit calmer, but definitely still going at a very high rate of speed. Fortunately, we haven't seen any sort of weapon. There haven't been any accidents right now, but I'm sure that police are trying to get their tactical attack ready and determine what they're going to do, be it spike strips or pit maneuvers or whatever they can do. But right now, they've just got to follow him until he gets into a position where they can do something.
So now we are entering Griffith Park here on the 5 freeway, fast approaching the Glendale area. And the freeway system for this person, the next major freeway for this person, if they don't get on the 2, would probably be the 134 east and west. And then, of course, you have the other than the 118 much further north. But the 5 freeway at this point seems to be where this person's going to be for a little while. Unless, you know, again, they choose to get off on one of those freeways that I just mentioned. I'm trying to think. If you're going to 5 north, if you can get on both directions of the 134, I think you might only be able to get on the east.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay, I'm told you can get on. No, I think you can only go east there. You have to get off the freeway and then get back on the 134 west. But either way, that's still the 2 is probably what's going to come up next. And this person is driving at a high rate of speed once again, kind of speeding things up again after seemingly a little bit of a lull. In traffic there.
Seems to be staying on the 5 right now. Several cars around him, no accidents yet.
And as we pull back, you can see that the police seem to be willing to follow this person primarily from the air. I don't want to make conjecture here, but it does appear as if officers have pulled back as far as like a direct pursuit in vehicles right behind, but certainly not losing track of this person, because we've seen what's happened when he feels threatened. He is willing to make any move necessary at this point, apparently, to try and continue
on the shoulder
his
there again.
effort to leave. Yeah. Again, another one of those moments where you're driving back and forth across lanes in whatever manner you want.
And can you guess probably what his speed is? Because other people are probably going 65, 70 miles an hour, and then you have him just zipping by them. So it could be 80, 90 miles an hour. Certainly such a dangerous speed when you are surrounded by so many vehicles and coming up so closely behind them. Clearly he has no regard for anyone else.
So on the 5 freeway again, having made through multiple freeway interchanges, he's gotten off the freeway, then back on the freeway. Apparently this person is known to carry weapons. At some point in this chase, we got word of Walnut Grove area that possibly seen with a weapon. This is a domestic violence criminal threat pursuit now, and the possibility that the driver here is armed. We're told that there's one person in this vehicle. Again, that is with caution. We say that. We do not know for sure, but apparently there's one person. This is Air 7 HD with a chance to, one of our first chances to really zoom in and get a closer look at this as we try to follow this. When we were going through downtown at points, it was difficult for Air 7 to keep an eye on this person because they were able to navigate several freeways very quickly, high rates of speed, whether they were on the 101, the 10, the 110 in both directions, and now on the 5 northbound, leaving Griffith Park area. And again, for those of you who might not be familiar with this area, coming up, if not already there, very close to the media center, which again is where things start to gum up until you get a little bit north of there and things can get a little more open.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we have been following this mostly from the air. Certainly, CHP is involved in this at this point. LAPD is the initial agency. Hollenbeck Division is what we were told was where this started. And we're all just kind of watching this together at this point. Again, sometimes we were at speeds of 100 miles an hour. I would hazard a guess that's roughly where we are at this point, because with light traffic prior to the lunchtime hour, most people are going to be at freeway speeds between 65 and 70 miles an hour. And we've seen how fast this person has been able and willing to pass everyone.
Yeah, driving very quickly, and we were able to get a close-up, but all you could see was the tinted windows there. We're not able to get a shot of that person, but we do know that that person is known to be armed and coming directly from a domestic violence situation.
And you saw how quickly things can change right there, pulling up behind this vehicle on the left and then nowhere to go on the right, so he had to slow down quickly and then go around and find a little opening there. But again, we've now entered the Burbank area, heading north. This on the 5 freeway. Forgive us if we repeat some of our information, but just trying to keep you posted as far as where this is heading and where we might be going with this. This is a Nissan Maxima, and this chase can be by you before you even notice it, but do understand that if you're leaving the home, you're getting ready to get up on the freeway, as our signal breaks up a little bit here in Air 7 HD, be aware of the surroundings and what's going to be happening here.
Mm-hmm.
There is construction too on the 5 northbound as you move a little bit further north of I think where this person is right now. Some freeway lanes have been reopened, but there is some construction work that is going on the freeway there. You can see some of the new roadways there, but now again, this person reaching into some traffic and is just seeing if they'll use the carpool lane and pop over back right now in primarily just the fast lane there, but willing to move around lane to lane, multiple lanes at the same time.
Absolutely willing to maneuver, and we see a lot of the big rig traffic, and that can be particularly dangerous if you crash into one of those big rigs and you get jackknives and all kinds of things happening on the freeway. So that's potentially very dangerous, but definitely some traffic moving into here. Still going on the 5 northbound in the middle of the freeway, but he's gotten on the shoulder and he's been weaving in and out of traffic from what we can see.
I haven't seen anybody, and so many times in these chases you'll see somebody think that they're putting an end to this by slowing down in front of the person, maybe boxing them in. I haven't seen anyone do that at this point. It seems so far that most everybody has been willing to just pause or let them move out of the way and let this person go. Right now you see that this person is kind of boxed in between another vehicle, nowhere to go to his right, wondering whether they'll try to move over into the carpool lane here. But again, that carpool lane is not continuous. There are times, as I recall, heading 5 northbound, that you'll run into a couple of spots where it looks as if it's going to be open, but there'll be cones, there'll be construction there. So there are moments when this pursuit, this stretch of the freeway is not going to be as wide open as you might think.
Yeah, and following up above, we've got JT Alpa. He's in Air 7 with the details. JT, what can you tell us from your vantage point?
Well, right now we're just coming into the pursuit. We're helping out with Air 7 HD right now, and we're relieving them as they make their way northbound on the 5 freeway. They're about to come to the 170 interchange, which connects back into the 5, moving towards the Santa Clarita Valley area. You can see now he slowed down for a little bit, but he absolutely has picked up speed now as he moves to those right slow lanes. You can get an idea how fast he's going by seeing those cars on the left, how quickly he's passing them. What we know now is what you know, the domestic violence terrorist threat suspect right now, reportedly armed. That's not confirmed right now. So they're going to continue to investigate this to find out whether he is indeed armed or not. But right now we're northbound on the 5, approaching Sheldon as he gets on past that 170 transition in the number 3 lane. You can see right now we're going to widen out. We're going to show you the CHP in pursuit right now. CHP took over this pursuit when it's on the highways, but we again saw as it was going on the 10 freeway and the 101. Right now the CHP units are way back. They're letting him the suspect determine where he's going to go. They're keeping a great distance. They don't want to get too tight on him, especially weapons. You can see him going over to that right gore point. Not in lanes at all right now as he passes that traffic. In and out of traffic. We've seen him come very close to other vehicles. But right now, the pursuit continues as we make our way through the Pacoima area, coming up towards the 118 freeway on the northbound 5.
Okay, so that last intersection there that he went through, that was the 170 northbound with him?
Yeah, that's right. Now he looks like he may be getting off the freeway here. Looks like it's going to be possibly Osborne. We're getting off Osborne right now, which is very near LAPD Foothill Division. Right now we're going to come around right. He's coming down to the off-ramp. He can go east or west. If he goes right, he's going east. If he goes left, he's going west. Right now making his way, maybe even bumping that black sedan right there as he makes his way right on Osborne, which is eastbound on Osborne. He's coming right towards LAPD Foothill Division, and making his way towards the Whiteman Airport area here in Pacoima. Kind of slowing down, and we're going to widen out just a little bit. Hopefully he won't be driving as fast as he's been driving through these. Okay, he's stopping for that stale red light as traffic goes through, and now he's making a northbound turn. And we'll get that street for you in a second. We believe that's Laurel Canyon here. Laurel Canyon is he's making northbound through the Pacoima. Okay, we're calling that Lancashire possibly right now. We have his Laurel Canyon, but we'll double check that right now. As he moves northbound through Pacoima, he's slowed his speed. Now he's making another right turn. We'll get you that street in a second. And that is a small side street as we go eastbound, and possibly trying to get that street. He makes another turn southbound. This could be a possible when they start circling up and driving around these areas, Philip and Leslie. This is indication that they might be an area that they're familiar with. Again, that's speculation right now. We're not certain of that. But sometimes they will circle up. They will see if any police officers are directly behind them, and they'll make a run for it. So we're waiting to see what that is going to happen. Right now, it looks like this might be Terabella Street as he makes his way back westbound on Terabella. Again, trying to see if there's any black and whites with him. Okay, maybe we're back on Osborne here.
Well, another thing, JT, that this person has shown a tendency to do is to be on the freeway.
Back eastbound.
Maybe not necessarily like the direction he's going on the freeway, and then just circle around and get right back on the freeway going the other direction. And Osborne, that exit, that's a complicated area right there to get back up on the freeway. So it may not have been as simple in this circumstance as just turning around and getting right back on the freeway. Is he still near the 5 at this point, or is the possibility there that he's driving around in a neighborhood he's not familiar with?
Well, Philip, he's about a half a mile east of the 5 right now, and now he's on Haddon Street as he turned off of Osborne, going southbound on Haddon. And he is working his way through these, blowing through those stop signs.
Yeah.
Blowing through those stop signs like they're not even there. But he is about a half a mile, maybe a quarter to half mile away from the freeway. Again, we're going to pull out a little bit, give you a little perspective. But sometimes, yeah, they do circle. They do circle back. They do circle back around in that area. We'll try to get you this street here. We think this might be Branford, but we'll verify that in a second. As he makes a right turn, and that's back westbound on Branford. And he's making his way back towards the 5 right now, Philip. And you can see those LAPD notes. Looks like LAPD Foothills Division has reinitiated this pursuit from the CHP as he makes his way back eastbound towards the 5 freeway.
It seems they might try to want to get him before he gets back on the freeway.
Yeah, you would think so, Leslie. As he passes Laurel Canyon there in westbound Branford, you should see the 5 freeway coming back into play here. Hopefully he will not get on that, but our understanding, there's the 5 freeway as he goes underneath it. We'll see there's an on-ramp on the other side, and he does not. There's no on-ramp, and he continues to go westbound on Branford, away from the 5 freeway, moving towards the Handsome Dam area.
Well, one of the reasons I was even suggesting he might be trying to get back on the freeways, this began in the Hollenbach division, and my assumption would have been, with it being a domestic violence criminal threat call, that's the possibility of where this person lived, and we didn't necessarily know where they are. But yeah, you're right, JT. A lot of times people get back into areas they're most familiar with and driving around, but quite frankly, sometimes when they're running and they get in areas they're not familiar with, they get lost. And so that was also a possibility if this person really began this all in the Hollenbeck division. But again, this is a person who is possibly armed. The suspect in this case, again, domestic violence criminal threat, known to carry weapons. So certainly authorities are going to be very, very cautious. JT, where are we now? We're getting back on the freeway?
Yeah, Philip, he went southbound Arleta, and he just got back on that southbound 170 freeway. Now, again, he is south of the 5 freeway, so he cannot get back on the 5, but he's making his way back towards the LA Basin on that southbound 170.